Hey Retro Gamers, RustyIngles here and welcome back to Retro Games Rediscovered, where we dive into the nostalgic world of classic gaming. Today we're pitting two iconic Amiga machines against each other, the legendary Amiga 500 and the ambitious but ill-fated Amiga CD32. So grab your joystick and let's get going. First up, a quick overview of our contenders. The Amiga 500, released in 1987, is a computer in a keyboard setup. It's got a 68,000 processor running at 7.14 MHz, 512K of RAM and the OCS or ECS chipset inside. On the other hand, the Amiga CD32, launched in 1993, is a custom console with an 020 processor clocked at 14.18 MHz with 2 MB of RAM and the advanced AGA chipset. It also sports the unique Akiko chip, which we'll talk more about later. Let's dive into the tech. The Amiga 500 was designed as an affordable gaming machine, perfect for gamers on a budget. It features several ports for expansion, including a side expansion slot and a trapdoor slot for memory upgrades. The CD32, meanwhile, was Commodore's bold attempt to break into the console market, boasting a built-in CD-ROM drive and the ability to play audio CDs. Its Akiko chip handles the chunky to planar graphics conversion, making it a unique piece of hardware. To get more technical, the Amiga 500's 68,000 processor at 7.14 MHz may seem modest today, but it was quite powerful for its time, handling a wide range of games and applications very smoothly. The CD32's 020 processor at 14.18 MHz effectively doubled the processing speed, enabling more complex games and multimedia applications.
At long last, Trill is a free man. Here is the evening news. It is reported that 59 arrests were made today and 13 Securico agents injured in violent clashes at the 2-month-old pickets of Alpha Detention Center. Speaking from the center, a spokesman from the Free Javda Now campaign told our reporter that a gross miscarriage of justice had been perpetrated against an innocent man.
The AGA chipset in the CD32 allowed for up to 256 colours on screen simultaneously, compared to the 32 colours on the Amiga 500's OCS chipset. In terms of the size, the Amiga 500 is a bit of a beast with its integrated keyboard, whereas the CD32 is more compact, designed to fit neatly into your entertainment centre. Both have their charms, but the CD32 definitely wins in the sleek and modern design department. The design of the Amiga 500 was an evolution from the earlier Amiga 1000, aiming to be more accessible to the general public. Its integrated keyboard design made it a complete unit, which was part of its charm. The CD32, on the other hand, was influenced by a growing popularity of CD-based consoles, similar to the Sega CD, aiming for a more modern, living room-friendly look. Performance-wise, the 16-bit Amiga 500 was no slouch, handling classic games like Chuck Rock, Rainbow Islands and Zool with ease. But the 32-bit CD32, with its faster processor and enhanced graphics capabilities, took things to the next level. It could run more complex games and even supported FMV, full motion video titles, thanks to its CD-ROM drive. In benchmarks, the CD32 outperforms the Amiga 500 in almost every category. Load times for games were significantly reduced thanks to the CD-ROM drive. For instance, Beneath a Steel Sky loads in half the time on the CD32 compared to the floppy-based Amiga 500. Frame rates in graphic-intensive games like Wing Commander were noticeably smoother on the CD32, providing a more immersive experience. The CD32 was marketed on its box as the world's first 32-bit CD games console. Although it is the first such machine released in Europe and North America, it was beaten to market by 7 months by the FM Towns Marty, a console released exclusively in Japan. The Amiga 500 was a huge hit, selling millions of units and solidifying Commodore's place in the home computer market. The CD32, however, struggled. Despite its advanced features, it was released during a time when Commodore was facing financial troubles. The company declared bankruptcy in 1994, just a year after the CD32's launch, severely limiting its market impact. The company's marketing strategies also played a big role. The Amiga 500 was marketed as an affordable computer for the home, appealing to both gamers and hobbyists. In contrast, the CD32 was marketed more as a high-end gaming console, which, coupled with the financial instability of Commodore, led to less effective market penetration.
Our world would never be the same again.
The Amiga 500's motherboard has some interesting quirks. For example, early versions had a red power LED and green floppy LED, which later changed to green and amber respectively. The CD32's motherboard had hidden messages from the developers, including a cheeky "We made it" under the Akiko chip. And of course, the Easter egg shared across all of the early Amigas, the B-52 song titles. The Amiga 500 was codenamed Rock Lobster. And this was reflected on every motherboard in the 500, along with the aforementioned LED lights being named Fred and Wilma.
Wilma, you all right?
Yes, Fred.
The tradition of naming the motherboards was continued on the CD32 by the engineers, but they broke away from the B-52s and decided to use a Sushi and the Banshees song, Spellbound. Both machines had a range of accessories. The Amiga 500 had several accessories, including the A570 CD-ROM, which expanded the machine to use CD-TV software. The A590 HDD, which provided hard drive capabilities, and the A520 TV modulator for connecting to a standard TV, along with various memory expansion cards and external floppy drives. The CD32 could be expanded with additional hardware like the SX1 or SX32 expansions, turning it into a fully fledged Amiga computer with hard drives and more RAM. Some popular accessories for the Amiga 500 included the RAM expansion modules, which could boost the system's memory up to 1 MB, significantly improving performance in many games. For the CD32, the SX1 expansion module was a game changer, adding standard Amiga ports and transforming the console into a more versatile computer. Let's compare how some classic games run on these machines. In Super Frog, the difference in graphics quality is immediately noticeable between the two systems. On the Amiga 500, the game runs smoothly but with more basic graphics. However, on the CD32, Super Frog not only looks sharper and loads faster thanks to the CD-ROM, but it also boasts more vibrant colours and smoother animations. Next, in Alien Breed, the Amiga 500 does a great job, but the CD32's version stands out with enhanced sound and smoother gameplay. The improved sound capabilities of the CD32 make the game's atmosphere much more intense, adding a new layer of immersion to the experience.
Player 1 requires first aid.
Now let's take a look at the Chaos engine. On the Amiga 500, the game was already a masterpiece with its engaging top-down action and distinct art style. However, on the CD32, you can see the enhanced visuals and improved sound. The CD32 version benefits from better textures, more detailed character sprites, and richer sound effects, creating a more immersive gameplay experience.
Layers activated. Layers activated. Node activated.
Lastly, in Simon the Sorcerer, both versions are fantastic, but the CD32 offers a richer, more immersive experience with better graphics and CD quality audio. And in the CD32 version of the game, Simon the Sorcerer was voiced by the amazing Chris Barry, also known as Arnold Rimmer from Red Dwarf.
For my first trick, pulling the dog out of the hat. Thank you, Chippy. Now for some credits.
The CD32's ability to handle larger game files allows for higher quality voice acting and more detailed backgrounds, significantly enhancing the overall gameplay experience.
Dear Simon, I am pleased to announce that you have been chosen from literally hundreds of hopeful candidates to perform a death-defying but extremely worthwhile quest, for which you will be rewarded quite a lot. All you have to do is rescue me from the hands of the evil sorceress Sordid. Feel free to use my extremely valuable spellbook and dog to assist you. Look forward to seeing you soon. Wish you were here. Love and kisses, Calypso. He's very muscular. Good morning. He's too engrossed in his work to hear me. It's a fine example of its kind. No one will miss this old thing. It's large, wooden, and completely locked.
Sadly, the CD32's potential was cut short due to Commodore's bankruptcy. Despite its innovative design and capabilities, it couldn't save the company from financial ruin. It's a classic case of too little, too late, but it remains a beloved piece of gaming history for many of us. The legacy of the Amiga 500 lives on through the vast library of games and the community of enthusiasts who continue to keep the platform alive. The CD32, while less successful, is remembered for its ambitious attempt to blend console gaming with computer capabilities. Both machines have left an indelible mark on the history of gaming. So there you have it, the Amiga 500 versus the Amiga CD32. Both are incredible machines in their own right, each with its unique strengths and stories. But which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification